what's up? It is Samara Renee, and if you are here for the first time, welcome. You're in the right place, especially if you're just trying to get your life together, your health, wellness, life in general. I'm the girl to watch. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update because yes, I missed last week. I did not post, and honestly, I feel like last week for me not posting is because I am definitely going through a little bit of an identity crisis right now and trying to figure out what I need to do with my life and like what I'm good at. So I just spent last week doing absolutely nothing but watching the astronauts going around the moon. I just spent all week just caught up in that, and I just could not bring myself to record any additional content. So I just kind of took a little break last week and just sat and thought about my life, and what is not happening is I'm not getting a whole lot of like response other than my love for everything space. And so that's the only thing I have so far right now. I'll give you guys a quick GLP-1 update. So this week I did go up to 5 milligrams, and so I am feeling good. I have no side effects. It's been great. The only thing is I have to remind myself to eat. I was in desperate need for a medication change, so I really wanted to just give my body time to get used to it. So I stayed at the same level a little bit longer than, you know, your doctors are normally like, well, maybe we should progress. And I was like, well, I feel really good right now, so I'm just gonna leave this alone. Depends on the person, but for me, like when I'm getting towards like the end of the week, that's when my hunger starts to come back a little bit more. And I was like, great, that's all I need, right? Is just to feel hungry. So again, that started happening, and I was getting more hungry and craving things again, and I was just so worried and obsessed about food again, and I hated it. So I was like, oh yeah, the timing is absolutely right. I absolutely need to increase my dosage. So as soon as I took it, I'm telling you what, all of that extra brain stuff, all of that chatter about me being super hungry and I need to eat went away. So that was the great thing. It really has been helpful. I just really did not understand or get how much time I spend in my life thinking about food and my weight. And since I started this GLP-1, like I used to obsessively be on the scale every single day, just tracking to see if my weight was going up. And I don't do that anymore because I'm not worried about it. I'm just like, well, I'm taking my medication, I'm eating the right food, I'm doing the exercise, and I'm eating less, so it's all gonna work out. So I'm not even concerned about losing weight. And I'm just like, gosh, I just saw such a difference that I waste so much of my time just being worried about my weight. And being worried about my weight didn't really help me because I would always put it back on. There's one thing about GLP-1s is just the brain chemistry, whatever it is, with the need to eat. And I don't know if it's hormonal or whatnot, but it's just like I was just always hungry, and it was really annoying, and I was always being worried. And I don't feel worried about my weight anymore, which is just such a relief. Not having that worry anymore, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. And so I'm not really sure. So if you did not know, I am a huge NASA freak. Like I love anything with space exploration, the space shuttle, Apollo, like the stars, and I am absolutely obsessed with the moon. And so the Artemis II went up into space, and the great thing about technology now is that you can track them all day long. You can watch them on camera. So I had their feed on the NASA feed, so now I have that NASA app, and I got my NASA's TV streaming, and that's all I did was watch and listen at work. I was listening mostly to them just talk. And the cool thing about, yes, we have, like, humans have gone to space before, like we know this, but the cool thing about them going is, number one, their capsule was like a throwback to the Apollo era. And then number two is that it was this, like, the first time, not even the first time, because I would say like in the past there's been shuttle missions where it has been really diverse. And I'm thinking of the Columbia that unfortunately didn't make it back from reentry. And their crew was very diverse. And so I started thinking about that. And so this crew, they had a crew of 4. They had Reed, Jeremy, Victor, and Christina. And the one thing that I absolutely loved about their mission over the 10 days that they were gone was just the way that they spoke to each other with such respect, and also mission control. Just the way their conversation was just so kind and helpful, and if they couldn't find something, they'd radio down. But just the childlike joy of seeing them, like seeing the earth and looking out and seeing the moon. And for me, I was really stoked because I love the moon, and just hearing their reactions and them describing what they were seeing with their eyes. And on Friday, when they were supposed to be coming back, like the most dangerous time is takeoff and re-entry. And, you know, I'm from the era of seeing, you know, I wasn't around when Challenger happened, but I definitely am an 80s kid. So that has, I've seen images of that most of my life. And then we had Columbia where, you know, they lost their whole crew. And so I have major anxiety whenever they do a rocket launch. I watched a rocket launch, which was awesome. And then I watched the re-entry, and I literally had my phone on during my workout, and we really were hoping that we were going to be able to see it because they landed off of San Diego, and we didn't because we got clouds. But thankfully we were able to watch it, and everything was great, and it was perfect, and I love it. And it just re-sparked that love of space again. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really considering putting a little bit more effort into that part of my brain, which is, I love nature, I love space, I'm always observing, I love geology, and just kind of exploring that and seeing what happens. So we will see. So to be continued. I kind of threw around the idea of maybe going back to school to get like I really just can't spend any more money, like, let's be real. But, what would happen if I actually like put some effort into learning about, earth science, or, space exploration and things like that. Like if I actually, learned about astronomy and what I could do with that. So I'm kind of like thinking about that and what I can do to be like part of like the next generation, the Artemis generation. So yeah, it's kind of nerd talk here, but I love space. It's a thing. So anyways, so what else is happening? So I talked to you guys about GLP-1, the moon mission, which was like the highlight of my week. The past 10 days have been wonderful. And also, so right now, what I'm listening to is a bunch of astronauts that have written books and listening about their life and their experiences. So right now I am listening to Endurance with Scott Kelly. So his brother, his twin, is also an astronaut too, and he's a senator. And I'm listening to his book right now. It's so good. I just cannot get over it. So check it out. Anyways, what else is happening in my life other than like my workouts that you guys have seen? Last week I kind of like took a like slow week. I had a meeting, so I missed I missed one workout for sure. But other than that, I mean, I'm not so worried about my eating healthy. I've had Chipotle like twice last month, and that was okay, but nothing too crazy. I have just been like protein, veggies, fruit, and the hardest part I think has been water. Lastly, on top of like my life trying to figure out what I want to do, I am just trying to like the idea of having a big audacious goal. I think I might have been listening to Scott Kelly's book, and he was talking about having like a big goal and something that he could really go after. And I was just like, you know what, that's actually a really good idea. Like, what is something that I think is just so far reaching that I want to do? And then I have to figure out like the steps to get to it. And so that like really inspired me, because he was like, I wasn't a good student. I probably had ADHD. I could not focus in class. And so I was like, you know what, like I should really kind of figure out like what would I do. And I think my main thing would be like, well, it would probably be like science would probably be like a challenge to just focus and like actually read the books and just focus in on that and actually like try to understand it. So anyways, I have a lot to figure out. I think I'm just trying to figure out like what can I do in my life to make my life feel full, and I'm not sure yet. So I'm spending a lot of time walking and praying are the two main things that I am doing, just trying to figure out like what does God want me to do. And then also I think last week was Easter, if I remember right. I think I also missed it because of Easter, why I didn't check in. So I was so grateful to have 3 days off, and it was definitely much needed. I needed to just unplug and not worry about things, and it was like the best weekend. I just laid in bed, took my hair down, just stayed in my pajamas, and I just watched space stuff, and it was awesome. So anyways, that's what's going on with me. But if you also are kind of going through like a weird phase like I am right now, which is like, what do you do with your life? What direction should I head? Leave me a comment. I would love to know, like, what are some of your thoughts? What are you experiencing? And if you have gone through this experience and you're kind of through that phase, like, what are some tips that you can do to help all of us out? So anyways, look forward to seeing you guys next week. I am slowly getting ready for my next small vacation, so I have another month before I actually get you guys some travel content when I head out for my desert trip. And then I am also doing a mad dash to pay off my debt. I just had this epiphany the other night, and I somehow figured I could probably squeeze like $1,500 out of my budget every month to pay down my debt within a year, so at least most of it. So probably have like another 2 years if I speed it up, and I might be able to squeeze out a little bit more. So I'm gonna see what I can do, because I need to just be free of that. That's just like holding back my life so much. I'm so over it. So anyways, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you next.